Hi folks, this is part 3 of the centrifugal casting build. As you can see here, I've got the banana plug sockets on, and the connections there. It's connected straight to the motor, and 2 wires from the same feed for the neon. As you can see, I've used spade connectors. For the actual males there, I recycled some off some old equipment and drilled the holes through and put them in there. So last thing to do, there's a couple more things to do actually. One is to fit this neon into the body, which I've drilled a decent sized hole there, so that can go in any position as long as I can get to the wires. So that's that plugged in. Tighten the screw up at the back to retain it. I don't edit my videos, I just do things as they go, and if I make a mistake you see it. So what you see is what you get. So that's tight. I'll need to place the protective cover onto the back to keep the wires separate. Like a little yellow cap that goes on the end there, you can just see. So make sure that's in properly. There we go. Connect the wires. 2 wires to connect. A bit fiddly, but you've got to get it in between a little plate there and the actual clamp itself, which is very fiddly, but we'll get it. There's one. Screw at the back. Make sure that's tight, yeah. And do the other side. Limited space in the back of here actually, but we'll get there. Got to make sure it goes in between the plate and the clamp itself. So that's tight. Right, longer travel than you think on that one. Right, that should be it. Caps come off the back again. I'll put that back on later. Right, so as you can see, inside the front top half of the machine I've fitted a solid stainless steel disc to make sure everything's sealed off, because there's plywood underneath there. And then you can see the motor shaft there and the keyway, and then underneath you have the motor, Pavlux geared motor, a neon, and then the 2 banana clips. So I'll put that cap back on again, which just jumped off there. So the last 2 things I need to do to finish the body off completely is to fit the rotor back inside. Now I've drilled a little hole in the side here, you can see, so I can reach through and get the Allen key, because there's not enough room to go underneath. And I'll show you the back end of it there. 12mm hole in a brass insert which comes right through, and then a groove there which I've showed you earlier for the flask to sit into. So I'll line up the Allen key with the, drop that in, and reach through with the Allen key and tighten up that Allen stud. I can, it's like working in the dark here, because you can't actually see it underneath. You've got to feel the thing. That's right there. And then make sure it's seated down properly and tighten that up. Good nip. So that's the body, that's the base, which everything sits on top of, like that. So there we have the unit complete. So if I plug it in, you'll see the neon should work. Turn the machine on. 24 volts on the power supply. There we go. So that's the unit up and running. See the disc there, spinning it around. It's about 900, between 850 and 900 revs per minute, depending on where you put the power on the power supply. It's at 24 volts there. This is a 24 volt motor, and a nice bright light there, which anybody can see that it's on. So we'll ramp that down, and I'll show you the flask. Alright, what I did, I bought a rubber bung from eBay, and that's how it would be. Your model would be fastened in there, as you've seen on one of the videos that I give a link to, and then you pour your investment into here, or your plaster of Paris, whatever you want to call it, which is similar stuff, and then you let everything set, and then you remove the rubber cap from the back, and it's all set and goes into your kiln to burn out the wax. So you're left with that body there, which fits into those little lugs there, and ready for spinning. So again, that would go in. You turn the machine on. It'd be a lot steadier than this actually, because it'd be full of investment. It'd be a bit heavier. It's rattling around a bit there. So then all you need then is you need a top making for it with a central hole to drop the molten metal into. So we'll turn that off. There we go. So that's the machine complete. All wired up, neon. Now this rubber blanking plug for the end, it's a 4-inch diameter. When I got it, it had a larger cone on the top of here. It had a big cone. So what I did, I fastened it in the faceplate into the chuck, and then turned that down. So what I have to make next is a mould for making the wax models that push over here, that push over the actual rubber bung there. They have a little ledge on which you glue your models to. I've got some ready-made models here that a friend sent me for some rings that he had designed. So basically those models will all fasten at an angle onto the main sprue itself. So you have them all the way around, and then you put your flask over the top, and then you put your investment in, as you've seen on many videos, I'm sure. So that's basically the whole unit there, complete and ready to go. All I have to do now is get some silver and make these rings that he gave me, like a pair of it's like a Masonic handshake, or a gypsy handshake as they call it. There they are. It's quite a nice design that he had done. These ones were done from a company in Birmingham called Carter Cuts, and these were actually done 3D printed, I think, as far as I know. And the 3D printing world certainly has come up leaps and bounds, and the detail on these things is outstanding. You know, every little detail comes out. Even if you left a fingerprint on the wax, it would come out with this loss wax method. So that's the wax loss machine done. So put everything together on there. Now here's my the other machine I was making at the same time, believe it or not. I did two things at once. Here we have the other machine, neon on the same, and the banana connectors the same. I had a second-hand piece of, it was a bit of a scabby old piece of aluminium plate that I had, but it's cleaned up fairly well, and it's more than good enough for this job. So you can see what I've done on the spinner disc. I've put 4 neodymium magnets in, and they're quite powerful things, and you just place the disc on top. They come from China, that's a 400 grit, and they just place them on top, and it really does clamp that down tight. It won't slip. And as you can see there, the motor's becoming a generator, with it being a reversible motor. So if I connected that to a windmill and that would give me electric. But there we are. There's that's the other machine, and I sharpened this chisel. I spent about 5-10 minutes yesterday sharpening it, and I haven't got it exactly perfect yet, but the 120 grit really does shift some metal with this diamond coated discs. I'm really impressed with them, and I think you get about 3 different grits for about £10, and I've got a whole collection of them here. 120s, 240s, 400s, 600s, 800s, 1200s, and even up to 6,000 you can get. So you can, whatever job you're doing, if you want to remove a lot of metal, you take that one off and put the 120 on, and that one really shifts some. You can see the grain in that one. That really shifts the metal. That would take 1/4 inch off just in 2-3 minutes, which I've already tried. So that's the other machine. Same kind of motor inside as the centrifugal caster, and those 2 bodies came off one fire extinguisher. I have another one still, and my next project to complete the whole stainless steel trio is to make another induction heater. Is what they call for melting the metals. Which I've already started to make. I've got a drawer full down here of the bits, so that will fit on top of there, and so there's no gas involved, and just plug it into the wall and turn on the electric and melt the metal, and then it'll have a little valve at the top with a rod going down into the crucible, which I've shown you on another video, to let the molten metal actually into the flask itself. So that's the next one. Hopefully I can try and get that done before the end of the year, but there's no promises. So it's a lot of work. That's the end of a hard day's work. So, and the savings, is, like I say, it's for savings, not for profits. The savings are really good on this one. So if anybody would like to have a go making one themselves one day, you basically got all the wherewithal there to show you how to do it. So I'll stop rambling again as I'll talk for England, and thank you all again for watching. Bye for now.